Let's take a look at our user our validation here for our data coming through. So first of all, if we updated the password ourselves as an administrator, then we need to omit that, right? Now, if we go back to the main user management dashboard, up to the component, what we're looking to omit is updated password, and then we're going to send across a message. That message will be successfully updated password for, oops, I don't want to make this mistake here. I'm going to catch it beforehand. So successfully updated password for this.user.name. Great. Okay. Let's catch and log out some of our errors here. Oops. So if errors.response.status equals 422, then we want to basically append those to an errors block of data. So let's create errors up here. Again, we're going to make that an empty array just like before. And up here, we'll put, just below our horizontal rule, we'll put an alert warning, sorry. And we're going to make that a role of alert. Great. Okay, and so if directive, errors.length is greater than 0. In our UL here, we'll do an li with a v4 directive, and that will be error in errors, and we'll print out error. Awesome. Okay, so far so good. So that works as we need it to work right now. If errors.response to status equals 422. So just like we had previously in the edit user, we can write that out here, but it's kind of a long one to write out, so I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. If you want to type it in, just pause the video here or do the same as I did. And that will push all of the errors to our errors array. One other thing we need to do before we forget here is this.errors equals an empty array. Great. Perfect. That's done. Now the other error that we're going to end up emitting is if the person is not the user and they're not an admin, if the person that's trying to change the password isn't the authenticated user, then, or if they're not an administrator, then we need to kick back a 403, which is basically you're unauthorized to do something. So that's going to happen, that should happen automatically for us. So we'll say if errors.response.status equals 403, then we just need to do basically errors.this.errors.push, and it needs to be not authorized to change this user's password. Okay, that's great. I'm satisfied with that. Let's go and test this out on the front end. Okay, I'm going to refresh this because all of our changes were made to the front end there. Update password. Okay, so the password must be at least 10 characters. The password format is invalid. So with regards to the password format being invalid, let's go back to our create user component. And we're going to we're going to copy and paste the placeholder value for password. Okay, so that, we're letting the user know, hey, you need to change these items, or it needs to follow this particular format. Okay, let's do this again. I'm going to refresh. password. Let's put a valid password up top. So capital P password, the rest will be lowercase, 123 exclamation mark. And that one should pass. And then I'll just do password for the bottom here. The password and confirm password must match. Okay, that's great. One other thing that we want to test, and we'll go back to our update passwords controller, is I just want to test the opposite. So they can't be an admin, and they can't be the user. This should return some kind of an error to us. 403 forbidden, not authorized to change this user's password. So that's one way to test this out, right? Is just kind of test the opposites of what we're looking for. And this one, we change them there. Send this information through again. Okay, great. Confirm password must match. Password 23 exclamation mark. Okay, successfully updated password for Tyson London when edited. Now the password isn't actually updated. I can tell you that right now. Because if we go to the method in update passwords controller, basically all that's happening is we're returning the data that was sent. So to update the password, we can just say user-update, and I could just type in password. That's what I'm going to do here. Password that's coming in has to be hashed. So we'll make, and then we'll put in the request password in there, and that should update the user's password. That will update the user's password, not should. Response, and you know what? I'm just going to return the user's basic data, being user only. So ID, name, email, and the role. And we're good to go there. Okay, so everything works as it should. That's great. Probably the quickest we've done the validation thus far. Now, the other thing we need to hook up is the ability to send off the password link. Okay, so in here, we'll make this an Axios request again. And I'll make it a post request. I won't make it a put request. And we'll say data users. I could do updates. And I'll put it in the updates because it's kind of the same thing we're doing. And then I'll say send link. No, send reset link. So it specifies the action basically. And then in here, we'll put this.user, and I don't forget, we're going to do this.user.id. Okay, great. That's all we need in here. We can say that then. Response. I want to do this.emit. And if we remember what we had up here, it was sent reset. Add a link to that. So sent reset link emit. And then in here we'll say successfully sent reset link to this.user.name. Great. Okay, let's create this under updates, send reset link. Okay. Update password controller. Sorry, we need to go data first. And then we need to say route post send reset link. And then we need to provide the user in there. And we need to say update passwords controller at send reset link. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll say update passwords reset controller, and very simply function send reset link. I'm just double checking my work here. So request $sign request user's already brought in, so we don't need to worry about bringing that in here. User dash. Now the model is provided to us for users. There's a great little method that's already in there for us, and that is send password reset notification. Now, one thing we need to do is we need to pass through some kind of a token, and we can do that by including the Illuminate support string class, and the method that accompanies that is random, and we can put 60 in there for that. Now we could do return response equal JSON. We'll assume that everything's good, and we'll pass through the user's details one more time. ID, name, email, role in there. Okay, so we should be good. We got string brought in, user brought in, everything's good that way. And I don't really care much about sending the I don't really care about authenticating whether it's that user or that administrator, because it's going to go to that individual's email address anyways. And they'll have to confirm things on their end when we actually build out the user control panel. We'll set it up so that they actually have to provide their password and authenticate their password against what's coming in this case. Okay, so we'll leave it there for now. And let's see if that actually works. So, okay, looks like we got one unexpected syntax in data. Okay, so I just forgot a semicolon. Not a big deal. Great. I'm going to go ahead and send reset link. Perfect. Successfully sent reset link to Tyson London when edited. I'll go over to Telescope. Here we can see the post request that was made that returned successful. And let's go down to mail in this case, and we'll see what was sent across. Hello, you're receiving this email because we received a password reset account, blah, blah, blah. And you can see it sent off to that email address. So we're in good shape. Everything works that way.